One of the reasons I came to Paris was to see some of the shooting locations from the film Le Fabuleux Destin d'Amélie Poulain. The Sacré Coeur Basilica is one of those locations. But we're not here to see the big church. Instead, this is probably the only place in all of Paris where you can get a view of the city for free. The area is very popular with both locals and tourists alike, offering a variety of activities to pass the time away. Is this the same guy that was in the movie? After a spin on the carousel and a quick dash around the souvenir peddlers, it's time to head to the Place Monge metro station to see one of the oldest structures in Paris. Take exit 2 and turn right when leaving the station. Then look for this sign, read it if you can, and then walk right in. Welcome to les Arènes de Lutèce, a combination Roman amphitheater and a mini coliseum. Constructed in the 1st century AD, the arena could accommodate up to 17,000 spectators and provide both theatrical and combat entertainment. By 280 AD, however, the arena was in ruins and was filled in completely. It was rediscovered during the building of the Rue Monge in 1860, after which a restoration committee was formed and the area was reopened as a public park in 1896. A significant portion of the original structure was lost to housing, but surprisingly, the acoustics are still remarkably good. Today, the area is used by local school children during their lunch break, by young people reading books, and by old men playing pétanque. It's a stark contrast from its former use as a site for gladiatorial combats. It's time to move on to another site. Head to the Place de la République metro station and walk 2 blocks eastward where you'll find this, the Canal St-Martin. The canal, another location from the movie Le Fabuleux Destin d'Amélie Poulain, was built in 1825 to supply water to the city of Paris. By 1960, however, it was no longer needed as a water supply, and traffic on the canal was down to a fraction of its former glory. The canal came very close to becoming a highway. But instead, the canal was preserved and partially redesigned, its southern portion enclosed between Rue du Faubourg du Temple and La Place de la Bastille. The surface of the now underground canal was transformed into a very long park equipped with fountains, playgrounds, and public markets. The neighborhoods along the canal are peaceful and constructed in the typical Parisian style, with its characteristic housing, neighborhood shops, and winding streets. The Canal St-Martin area revealed one of the more annoying problems with the city of Paris. Because this city is practically a living museum, modern construction can have an adverse effect on the neighborhood. In an area filled with late 19th century housing, you sometimes see one of these modern monstrosities pop up out of nowhere, and they simply don't fit into the neighborhood despite the colorful balcony railings. Most of the city's core neighborhoods have narrow streets filled with shops and local amenities, creating mini villages in the city itself. Even the dead ends can become a miniature oasis isolated from the noise of the city. The reality is that no building is eternal. Eventually, an old building does come down and something else has to take its place. But why does it appear as if the Parisians themselves have forgotten how to build a Parisian-style building? This thing looks like it has an identity crisis. And this thing looks like it should be painted pastel colors and moved to Florida. But if you want to see definite proof that Paris and modern architecture simply don't work together, then we'll need to head off to Paris's main business district known as La Défense. This is La Défense station, and this is La Grande Arche. The La Défense district is not as much a concrete jungle as it is a concrete version of Monument Valley in the United States, with its towering structures surrounded by a nearly lifeless landscape. There's a hotel in there. And that white building is a church. A carousel dedicated to the memory of Jules Verne next to a sculpture by Alexander Calder, which is ironic since Jules Verne once wrote an unpublished short story called Paris au XXe siècle, or Paris in the 20th century. By the way, no ducks here. Jules Verne's original 1863 manuscript was rediscovered in 1986 at the same time the Grande Arche was being built. And the similarities between Verne's imagined Paris of the future and the reality of La Défense are pretty startling, with the only visible landmark of the old city located far, far away. Coming up, Notre-Dame de Paris, le musée de l'Orangerie, and the Musée d'Orsay.